up, beautiful jellyfish? It's Tracy, and today I'm going to be doing Friday's feature cards. Thank you so much for joining me. This is Friday's feature cards. I think it's number 8. I don't really have a lot of cards to talk to you guys about. I have a couple of cards from draft, and then I have 2 kind of random cards from 2 of my decks. The first card that I want to talk to you guys about is my Modern Bloom Titan deck. So I've said this before, I don't want to have mine in my deck. If you've watched my videos, you're probably sick of me saying that, but for people who haven't seen my videos before, hello, welcome. I don't want to have mine in my deck. So because of that, I was not running Simic Growth Chambers and Teleria West. And so I was talking to my boyfriend and his friend, and they both run Bloom decks, and they were like, talking about my deck, and they were like, I feel like Tracy should really run Teleria West in her deck. So Zane was originally like, Zane, my boyfriend, was like, you should run 3, and I was like, I'm gonna try 2 and see how that works, and it has been working out so well, because if I need to get these lands for summoners packs or for lands, I can just transmute them, and I can grab them with Primeval Titan, which is super awesome. So like, I play Primeval Titan, and then I'm like, okay, I'm ran out of things in my hand to do, I'm gonna grab Teleria West or something with that. Really excited that I decided to make that change. I think it's a really positive change for the deck, and I'm really happy. That's the only bit of blue that I have in the deck, though. So for now, that's working out really well. So that was it for my Bloom deck. That was just the only change that I made recently. The next card that I want to talk to you guys about is from my Tassiger ADH deck. Now, I just did a whole deck tech about this, but one card in there that it's like, every time I just have this card on board, I'm just like, yes. And that card is Prophet of Kruphix. And the thing about Prophet is that even if you don't, with Tassiger, even if you have Prophet out and you don't have any creatures in your hand to flash in, like, you can just Tassiger, like, multiple times, which is awesome. Like, I just, something I found with the deck is I just ramp so hard, and I just, like, spend the first couple turns just building, and then it's like, Tassiger, Prophet, do all the cool things, and, like, stuff like that, and it's just really cool. So, yeah, I really like Prophet a lot. I think she's just really good. She's one of the best cards in EDH ever, because it's just, every person's upkeep, like, you get to untap, like, what? That is so good. So, yeah, Prophet's really awesome. Cool. Okay, then I have just a couple of draft cards to talk to you guys about from Origins. Today is my last day that I'm drafting Origins, which is really weird because I've drafted it a couple times, and now we're gonna move into Battle for Zendikar land. How stoked are you guys for Battle for Zendikar? I'll talk to that at the end of the video. We'll talk about Battle for Zendikar at the end. But okay, first card I want to talk to you guys about in Origins is a card that when I get past this card and I'm drafting green, I'm very excited to see, and that is Farika's Disciple. This card is an insane card to draft, because it's like, you look at it and you're like, okay, I mean, 4 mana for a 2/3, I mean, that's not really that good, but then it's got Death Touch, it's just a really good body, and then it's like, it's got Renown 1. It's just, like, really, really good. This card is, like, one of, like, I think, like, one of the best commons, I think, in the set. If you're going green and you're drafting Origins, look out for this card, because this card's really... The next card that I have, I actually had complete mixed feelings on this, but then I got into this conversation with one of my friends who drafts with me, and he made a really good case for this card. He said, it's called Bonded Construct, and this card looks really bad, and I completely understand it. However, in this format, you're dealing, like, compared to Battle for Zendikar has a lot of big creatures, right, and big stuff, and things like that. Origins, I mean, has that and stuff, but Battle for Zendikar especially does, so with Origins, you've got a lot of, like, smaller things and stuff. And the thing about Bonded Construct is it's definitely a great one-of in your deck, because it's kind of one of those cards where you don't first pick it or anything like that. You're not, you know, it's kind of one of those, like, last kind of things. It's like, okay, there's nothing really else in the pack for me that's good, let me just take a Bonded Construct. And I've been drafting this card, and it's actually pretty okay, because it's a really good blocker, because it deals with, like, a lot of their things that come in that have 2 power, and you just, for 1 mana, you kind of, like, basically kill their thing. Or if you're going more aggressive, you can swing, and it's just, I don't know, I just really like this card. I, like, thought that it was really bad, and then I drafted it, and, like, I don't know, like I said, one of my friends made a case for it, and it was a pretty compelling argument, and I was like, this card's really not that bad. Not something I would, oh my gosh, draft, like, 12 of, but, like, you know, it's not lightning bolts. It is by no means a lightning bolts, but, can you imagine that? Just, like, a draft deck just full of lightning bolts? I feel like people would just skip up their cards. Like, how do you even... Why would you get past that many lightning bolts is what I really want to know. I don't feel like that's realistic at all, but can you just imagine, like, a deck full of, like, 8 lightning bolts? That'd be sweet. Okay, cool, that's really not the point. Next card. I actually pulled this card in foil, which is really sweet. And, like, I'll show you guys. This card is, like, really cool. It's called, Consul's Lieutenant, and, I feel like, did I talk about this last week now that I'm thinking about it? I don't think so. I think I pulled this, no, I didn't. I pulled this card, in last week's draft. This card is sweet. Like, when I was drafting last week, I went green, I got green, white, and, like, my deck was really not that good, actually. It was really, I did not draft removal. Like, the thing is, okay, with me, when I draft too much removal usually because I get removal happy, and I'm like, I need to draft a ton of removal, and then I, like, never draft creatures. Okay, I'm, like, exaggerating, like, a lot. I draft creatures, a lot of times I just won't draft enough, so I drafted too many creatures this time and not enough removal, so I was kind of kicking myself over the foot. I had, like, a suppression bonds. It was, like, miserable. You know when that happens when you draft and you just get, like, a really bad pool of, like, removal cards, and you're just like, this is not even just, like, bad, you just don't get past that. Like, our pod was, like, so we had 2 pods, and it was, like, so unexciting for us. Like, we didn't have any, like, super sweet things happen in our pod. Like, no crazy, oh my gosh, packs or anything like that. Like, we didn't really have anything. The other pod had, like, really cool stuff. I don't know. And then there was this one kid who, like, pulled, like, a foil Jace for his winnings, and I was like, it's literally $100. Wow, okay, that is really not the point. I get so sidetracked so easily, sorry guys. Okay, but this card is really awesome. Double white potentially can be a little bit harmful, yep, that's English, can potentially be a little bit harmful depending on what type of deck you're running. If you're running 2, 3 colors, you know, maybe a little bit hard to get off that double white, but I mean, bro, it's got, like, first strike, and this is just sweet. Like, this is just such a good uncommon, and I'm really happy that I got foiled. It's, like, $250 foiled. I can't even deal with the price of standard cards. Like, there's a reason that I don't play standard, and it's just, like, well, there's a couple reasons why I don't play standard, because modern exists, so why would I play standard if there's modern? But, like, standard is just, like, the prices are just ridiculous, and I just, like, can't keep up with them. And, like, people will say that about, like, modern and, like, legacy and stuff like that, but I'm just, like, I just can't, okay? I just can't even. Every time I think of that phrase, I can't even, I'm gonna think of that dude from Battle for Zendikar where it's like your opponents can't cast spells with even numbers. Like, what? 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 Please, like, oh my gosh, I kind of can imagine this, like, at Wizards of the Coast when they're, like, making, like, the cards and stuff, and someone's like, what about this card? And someone's like, that's really weird, I kind of think we should do it. Like, what? That's so strange. But anyways, how stoked are you guys for Battle for Zendikar? I feel like there's, the thing that I feel about sets, and this is a really weird, but I feel like I don't usually appreciate sets until after they've been established for some time. Like, I'm not usually one of those people who sees a set and says, oh my gosh, I'm in love with it. Like, yes, I'm gonna do this all the time. Like, I don't usually get acquainted with sets until I draft it, or until I play it, or until I see the cards being used in other stuff. And another thing too, because I am a modern player, is I do look at, you know, what cards are really gonna be used for modern and what cards are you know, gonna be, like, established for that format. So, like, I don't know, like, it's not that I don't care about standard, it's that I'm a modern player, so it's like, you know, and like I said, I'll draft, and, like, that's totally fine, but, like, I'm not gonna go out and build a standard deck, like, it's not something I'm gonna do. So I don't look at the set like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna build a deck out of these with standard. Like, I don't look at the set like that. I am excited for a couple cards. I'm really most excited, I think, for Kiora. Like, I think out of all the cards that have been spoiled, I'm really excited for Kiora. I want to put her on my Tasigur EDH deck, and she's just really good. I think she's sweet. I really like the one card that I don't remember what it is right now, but it's 2 colorless, and then it's black. It has Devoid. It's a 4/3 flyer, I think, and then it's like at the beginning of your upkeep, sack a creature. Whenever you sack a creature, you draw a card. That card's sweet. I want it for my Mughis God of Slaughter EDH deck because it's a sacrifice deck, so I saw that card and I was like, this is sweet. But yeah, no, I mean, I like the whole, like, landfall thing. I think that's, like, really cool. I just, you know, it's so far, it hasn't been like, oh my gosh, I need this card for this deck and this card for this deck and stuff like that. And I feel like I've come to the point right now with Magic cards where I don't really need that many. Like, I've come to the point, actually, like, last night I was doing some trades. I finally got rid of my Jace, and I was really happy about that. I pulled the new Jace, and I was really happy. I mean, got rid of him for $43-ish, and I got some sweet stuff out of it. Like, I got that, like, N14 Scavenging Ooze, which is really cool. It's like $15 or something, which is ridiculous, because Scavenging Ooze is originally like a $5 card. But it's really cool. I just collected a couple of cards for Modern. Like, I know that Scavenging Ooze, because Scavenging Ooze would be for, like, a Sultai build or something, and I've been talking about brewing Sultai for, like, a little bit now. And I think that would be really cool. The thing is that just Tarmogoyfs and Snapcaster Mages just make me want to cry, like, a lot. But anyways, I collected a bunch of cards. I got like some Siege Rhinos, and I got a foil negate, which is really cool. And I got a couple other things because I'm kind of just like, I'm just gonna collect modern cards and just like kind of see whatever I build in the future. Like, I mean, some of them are not as versatile. Like Siege Rhino's gonna be used in Abzan, you know what I mean? But Siege Rhino's just Siege Rhino, and it's just really sweet. I just want to like put Siege Rhino in things because it's just like so awesome. I think that's everything. I feel like I talked about like a lot of stuff in this video, and I feel like this was way longer than I intended to. Because you know what it was? I was like, I'm gonna talk about like 5 cards in this video. This will go by like 5 minutes, and that just didn't happen. Maybe you guys like my rants. I don't know. Okay, I'm really gonna stop